Welcome to the Architect's Checklist, Revit Tools. Today we're going to go over a tutorial on how to create parametric door trim or door casings for your Revit model and the doors that you have in there. And the reason I decided to create this tutorial is I saw a beautiful set of plans from a very high-end residential architecture firm, and on every single door they had in plan, they were showing the casing that would have been on every single door. It was very detailed, left sort of no question on size or how it fit within the project. And I thought, wow, what a great use, what a great way to utilize Autodesk Revit by parametrically modeling the trim around the doors, and then you have it. It'll always be correct. So let's jump on in. There's 3 steps to creating a parametric door casing. The first one is adjusting the opening cut for the door. That's step 1. Step 2 is creating the jamb, and step 3 is creating the actual trim. So step 1, we are going to go ahead and edit the door opening sketch. And I should mention that this door family is a variation of the Autodesk Revit supplied adjustable swing door. So you could do this yourself, or you do have the option to buy this model from me with the trim already included below this video. So first thing we're going to do is offset the opening by 3/4 of an inch, and the reason we do that is in the high-end elements we are doing, and actually in most doors, the jambs are 3/4 of an inch thick. So you offset 3/4 of an inch, lock those dimensions, they don't go anywhere. That looks good. Save that down so it's not coming. Shift W brings up your navigation wheel. We'll do this on wireframe. Save that right now, and you can see there we have the 3/4 of an inch space between the door leaf and the opening. So step 1, create the wider door opening or opening the wall. That is complete. So step 2 is to create the jamb. So we're going to sketch the jamb, and we're actually going to sketch it right along the door opening, or the opening the wall we just created. It's very important that once you have traced that sweep or drawn it, you need to set your wall plane. So what we do is we click set, pick a plane, and shows the front. So we're working in the front wall plane. So now when we go to the ground floor and we choose to, so that's the right path, choose to edit the profile, it's now in line with the front face of the wall. So we're going to draw that 3/4 inch thick jamb, which is just as deep as the wall that you have in your model. I like to drag and sort of drag that to align it to the front and the rear of the wall, and then always make sure to lock. Yes and yes, and now you can see, if we go back to the 3D view, not only do we have the door leaf, we now have the jamb. It's very important. One thing that I like to do is to come in here and then choose the jamb and make sure we're choosing an appropriate finish. We'll do door, frame, and subcategory. And this just allows your model to be a bit smarter, and that's the whole point of Revit and BIM, create smart models. So step 1 was adjust the opening, step 2 was to create the jamb, and step 3 is finally to create the the door casing. So we still need this section right here. So let's go back to the front. We're going to do the same thing, draw a sweep. And we're first going to actually sketch the inside of the jamb that we just created. And then we come in here, and if you are doing high-end homes, you know that the door casing is set off 1/4 of an inch. It creates a really nice reveal. It's a very slick sort of detail. And if you look closely at the doors around your house, you will notice that is how they are done. So again, we needed to set the plane of that sweep to be the front wall. And now when we go into edit profile, we go to ground floor plan, and you can see we are 1/4 of an inch off of the inside of that jamb. So for the purpose of this video, we are going to create a 1x4 casing to put in this model. Again, whatever trim that you have specified for the project, go ahead and put that in, but for this example, we're just going to do sort of a 1x4 beaded casing, a very sort of classic look and one that we use a lot in projects that we're doing when we have a very simple casing. So let's put this in. Again, you put in the trim that you're using. But for the purpose of this model, we'll do that. So here we go. If we go to the 3D view, you can now see you have that 1/4 inch offset and that 1x4 beaded casing. Now, let's go ahead and do a quick test to come up here and check what if we have a different door size. Great. See how even the different door sizes, all of that casing and trim parametrically models and adjusts with the door. That's the point of all of this, is to have this sort of model set up so no matter what wall type you have, it will work every time. So now we need to copy the trim to the back, and we'll go to the back elevation. We're going to edit sweep again. You need to set the plane that this is locked onto to make sure it'll model correctly. So there we have it. We have done step 1, adjust the opening. Step 2, create the jamb. And step 3, create the trim profiles. Let's real quickly before we hop off of this, set the door trim, set the material to door trim. We're going to apply frame mullion. You could create another family or category within the door for the trim, but for the purposes of this model, this will work just fine. So now the real test, let's hop over and take our newly formed model and let's load it into this United States gypsum wall type family or project file. I'm going to save that right now. So here we have our door, single door with casing, labeled incomplete at the moment. And when we click it on the door, oh, that's an issue. See how this didn't snap right there. So let's go back real quick. I made a easy to fix mistake. We need to go to the back. I came in here, edit sweep. You need to actually edit the sketch path and set that to the plane. It's an error, simple one to make. That was a good lesson right there. So you need to actually set the sketch path to the wall. So now let's overwrite the existing version. When it updates, there is the fix. So I'm going to leave that in the video, guys. I could easily edit that out, but I think it'd be good for you to see if you make that mistake, how to fix it. Now we check out different wall types, and you see how those snap together. Where if I just was to overlay this door, a much smaller wall type here, it appears too big, but actually when I apply it to the wall, it all works out. And then we check on the 3D views, make sure it's all still looking nice and clean, and there you have it. A beautifully simple single door with adjustable swing with the parametric casing included. I hope you found this tutorial useful. Hopefully you can use it to make your own model. If you don't, or don't have the time and would rather just purchase this model directly from me, there is a link directly below this video on my website where you can get it there. Thanks again for joining the Architect's Checklist Revit Tools tutorial series. I hope you have a great day.